Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. The City of Greensboro and Cone Health plan to bring a host of health and wellness services to East Greensboro. The goal is to close the life expectancy gap in that area by 5 years over the next 5 years. Data shows people who live in certain areas of the city die sooner than people who live in other areas, in some cases 15 years sooner. This is mostly due to more chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and obesity. This partnership is an effort to change those disparities. Cone Health's wellness component plans include a community wellness hub at the Vance Chavis Branch Library. The hub will house a clinic, a telehealth and digital services room, and education space. The Windsor Chavis NoCo Community Complex will host a Sagewell Health and Fitness, Medical Fitness Center, and education space. The Warnersville Recreation Center will be home to other health and wellness programming options through the City of Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department. Greensboro voters approved a $135 million bond referendum last year. Part of those funds will go toward the Windsor Chavis NoCo Community Complex. The other renovations will be completed using other funds. Some of the Vance Health Hub's programming will start next year, but the full physical renovation of the facility will be after Windsor Chavis is completed. Guilford Works has been selected to receive the 2023 Governor's NC Works Award of Distinction in the category of Outstanding Innovative Partnership for its Fresh Start program. A letter written by Governor Roy Cooper states your initiative was selected from among many deserving partnerships from across our state because it embodies the true spirit of NC Works and workforce development. In partnership with NC Works, Guilford County, and Triad Goodwill, this initiative attempts to help solve the local labor force shortage while providing meaningful employment to those re-entering the workforce post-incarceration. For this initiative, Guilford Works hosted an employer information session in March to provide local employers with insights and information about the benefits of hiring justice-served individuals. Hiring and resource events, each featuring more than 20 employers and 15 resource providers, were hosted in Greensboro in April and in High Point in May. These events were prefaced by career readiness training sessions to further prepare participants for interviews with participating employers. Guilford Works has expanded the Fresh Start initiative to concentrate on solutions for immigrant and refugee populations and veterans. Changes have been made to the recently launched Neighborhood Toolbox Lending Center due to its overwhelming participation. Residents wanting to make repairs to their home or work with neighbors on a community project now must pick up and return the borrowed tools and equipment. The hours of operation are from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at the Greensboro Sportsplex parking lot located at 2400 16th Street. Delivery of tools and equipment is no longer offered, and the program does not operate on city-recognized holidays. The Neighborhood Toolbox, which began taking reservations 1 month ago, remains free of charge. Also new to the program is the use of one lending request form, regardless if your project is personal or a group project. Once your lending request form has been received, a Neighborhood Toolbox team member will contact you to make the necessary arrangements. When you pick up the tools and equipment, present identification and proof of Greensboro residency. This tool lending program is available for non-commercial purposes to people who live within Greensboro city limits. For more information about the program, visit the city's website. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's News for Your Health.
Over 1 in 3 Americans ages 18 and older have prediabetes. What is it and how can you reduce your risks? Prediabetes is when you have a blood glucose or blood sugar level which is higher than normal but not quite high enough to be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You can reduce your risk of prediabetes and prevent it from furthering to type 2 diabetes by several things. One, you can eat a well-balanced diet, which includes fruits, vegetables, calcium-rich foods, whole grains, and protein foods. Also, you could exercise at least 150 minutes a week, which is equivalent to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you can also work with a registered dietitian who will help establish long-lasting healthy habits which are specific for you. Individuals who are at a higher risk of becoming pre-diabetic are those that are ages 45 years or older, who also have a BMI or body mass index of 25 or greater. Also, individuals who are 45 years old or younger who have the BMI of 25 or higher, along with high blood pressure or high cholesterol or a history of type 2 diabetes in their family or have a history of inactivity. So there are certain races and ethnicities who are more at risk. African Americans, Native Americans, Asian Americans, Latino, and Pacific Islanders. There are no clear signs and symptoms of prediabetes, which is why it's important to have routine visits with your primary care physician because you may have it and not know it. When you go to your primary care provider, there are several tests that can be done to diagnose prediabetes. One test is a hemoglobin A1C and having a value between 5.7 and 6.4, or having a fasting blood glucose test done and your value is between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or having an oral glucose tolerance test done where your 2-hour blood glucose level reads between 140 and 199 milligrams per deciliter. So one thing that comes up a lot with, especially with the exercise, you don't have to do 30 minutes in one lump sum. You can do 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, as long as you're getting that 30 minutes within that 24-hour period. And that can be anything that gets your heart rate pumping. So if it's taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator, you don't have to make a total lifestyle change at one time. You can take small steps by, for instance, if you're skipping meals or if you miss breakfast or miss lunch, try incorporating that meal so that you're getting at least 3 meals a day. Also too, when you go to the shopping center, instead of hunting down that first parking space, you can park farther away, get in some extra steps. It is proven that when you make interventions such as lifestyle change, including changing your eating habits, having a well-balanced diet, increasing your physical activity, you can prolong being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Thank you for joining me. I hope this information has been helpful. To learn more, go to conehealth.com/diabetes. I am Donetta Floyd.
Mark your calendar for the events planned to celebrate National Parks and Recreation Month and check out which artist is hosting a residency at the Hyers. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro is celebrating National Parks and Recreation Month throughout July by hosting a series of community events. Adult Recess is taking place at Barber Park on Friday, July 14th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Backed by popular demand, party at the Barber Park Sprayground with your adult pals. There will also be nostalgic playground games and plenty of new friends to meet. Rally your crew for this free event. Food and beer will be available for purchase. Get your lawn chair ready for movie night at Hester Park on Saturday, July 22nd at 8:15 p.m. Bring snacks, a picnic blanket, or lawn chairs for the Super Mario Brothers movie. The Greensboro Police Grill Team will be serving up hot dogs. Admission and hot dogs are free. Hester Park is located at 3615 Dutzia Street. The Tanger Family Bicentennial Garden will set the backdrop for Croquet in the Garden. The event will take place on Friday, July 28th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Wrap up the month by experiencing a magical evening in the garden playing croquet and pétanque. You can also enjoy food, beverages, and music. The Tanger Family Bicentennial Garden is located at 1105 Hobbs Road. The Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department is once again hosting its free summer playground program, Energy at the Park. This is available in 4 neighborhoods from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mondays through Thursdays, now through August 10th. Rising first grade students through 15-year-olds are invited to participate in free lunch, supervised sports, games, and crafts. Parents or guardians may register their kids at any of the following playgrounds: Hampton Park on Four Seasons Boulevard, Heath Park on Holtz Chapel Road, Sussman Street Park on Sussman Street, and Woodmere Park on Autumn Drive. Energy at the park is subject to cancellation if there's severe rain or extreme heat. For more information, visit the city's website or contact Mel Melton at 336-373-7502. Creative Greensboro welcomes local dance company Joy Movement for a residency at the Hyers today through July 16th. The residency will culminate with the premiere of Rewind, 1968, a Requiem for the Possible. This dance-centered opera examines the consequences of the North Carolina eugenics program. Performances will be 7:30 p.m. Friday, July 14th, and 2 p.m. on both Saturday, July 15th, and Sunday, July 16th. The Hyers Theater is located in the Greensboro Cultural Center at 200 North Davie Street. Tickets cost $10 in advance and are available on the city's website. Joy Movement's mission is to tell stories of the African diaspora that inspire audience members to re-examine embedded societal ideals. Founding artistic director Alexandra Warren said, "We strive to explore the future grounded with historical context and artistic activism. We are passionate about creating a dialogue that spills off stage and into the community." The company's repertory includes work involving emotion, flow, and an intimate connection between the artist at work and the audience. For more information, contact Creative Greensboro's Performing Arts Coordinator, Todd Fisher, at 336-373-2974. The Greensboro History Museum is the recipient of several national awards. Most recently, the museum was recognized for placing the spotlight on democracy. Coming up after the break, we'll take you behind the scenes while we take a stroll back in time. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The term democracy has been making headlines in the past several months. This is also the central theme of a new exhibit downtown. Joining me now to place the spotlight on democracy is Carol Hart. She is the director of the Greensboro History Museum. Hello, Carol. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for joining me. So let's start off by telling us about what's new at the museum.
Well, we've continued our Project Democracy, which we started in 2019 with the Traveling Smithsonian exhibit, and now we have our own produced North Carolina Democracy 11 Elections. And this is a wonderful exhibit covering years from 1776 through 2010, and then we've had a lot of programs to go along with that exhibit. But we're really excited about a special event that's coming up on Saturday, July 8th, 1940s Flashback.
Okay, so give us some of the details. What's going to happen at that event?
So the 1940s, of course, is World War II era. And for Greensboro, this time period was incredibly impactful and important, as it was for the whole nation. But Greensboro had the largest Army base within a city in the country. It was over 600 acres. So many, many servicemen and women came through Greensboro. And Greensboro was very active in the war effort in many, many ways. So at this event, we hope to, in a serious and fun way, talk about some of what Greensboro was like at the home front during this time and have some really great activities that if you were around during that period you might have done, and some of the arts that continue with us today.
Okay, so on the fun side of it, will there be opportunities for folks to show off their 1940s dance steps?
Absolutely. So it's a whole day of events. There's really 2 events. During the day from 11 to 4, there's a free public event. We're going to have some reenactors, World War II reenactors will be there, some vintage vehicles, there will be music, there'll be some of these serious flash talks, there'll be an opportunity for crafts, doing your own little victory garden maybe, or creating some paper airplanes in honor of the A&T, African American airmen who were being trained at the time.
Oh, wow. Lots of history. So tell us how the connection is made between democracy, that era of 1940, and World War II from the museum standpoint.
Yeah, well, particularly the 4 freedoms were talked about a lot. Freedom from fear, freedom from want, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. And George Preddy, who was a huge hero, he was a pilot from Greensboro, had already won acclaim and came back in September 44 and talked about what he was fighting for. He was fighting for democracy. And even though he had an opportunity to stay behind in the States and publicize it, he chose to go back and tragically perished shortly thereafter. It's also an interesting time for the African American leaders in our community who were really fighting for the Double V campaign, they called it, the victory for democracy for the world and in Europe and other places, but also victory at home for democracy for themselves, to bring an end to segregation and equal rights. So that's people talked about democracy a lot, and they fought for it, literally fought for it, and also supported the efforts at home through rationing and scrap drives. Now, we're also having some wonderful activities. We're having a bake-off, a ration book bake-off. You can get recipes on our website.
Okay.
We're having victory garden activities. I also have to say that in the evening, the second part of the day is going to be a ticketed event. We're keeping the price really low, $25. And we have a 7-piece swing band that's going to be there. There's going to be a fashion show, costume contest, and dance lessons.
Okay.
So there'll be plenty of opportunity to swing and have some fun and see how people try to get their minds off the really serious threat to democracy that was World War II.
So this is truly a flashback to the 40s. And is it all the things that you just listed that is what inspires people in Greensboro to rally during that period?
Yes. I mean, everybody knew somebody who was going to be serving during World War II, and many people here had relatives in Europe. It wasn't till later that we really found out some of the horrific things, the Holocaust and other things that happened during that time, but people really supported, people sacrificed locally, what they ate, how they lived, and were very welcoming to the many, many servicemen that came here. I hear many stories today of people today probably were children that time of their parents bringing home different service people for dinner and being encouraging that way. So there was a lot of sacrifice during that time.
So besides all of the activities and the great events that you've planned, how else are you exploring this very important decade of 1940?
Well, we're really happy that our summer programs, and every summer we do a themed program for the many camps that come. They bring young children, and so we are having a 1940s democracy theme, and children will be exploring that scrap metal, the idea of recycling that was very popular at the time, and we're working with recycled goods, and children will have an opportunity to create their own objects, creating recycled goods and bring awareness to recycling. They'll be doing some work with victory gardens. Again, people were growing their own food. You didn't have access to a lot, so people made a point of having their own family gardens. So we'll be doing that a little bit. So it'll be an opportunity again to teach a younger generation, many of whom have no idea what World War II means or what it was.
Okay, well this is exciting. As always, you're hosting great programs to take us back in time, but also connect us to the relevance of what's happening, and that keeps history alive. And we hope that you'll come back and give us updates on other programs that you'll be hosting later in the year.
For sure, there's always something going on,
Yes.
and there'll be some new displays of some World War II era costumes and dresses and things like that. So even if you can't make it that day, they'll be up for a while, and you can come see those.
Okay, well, we are on our way.
All right.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city that's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Tickets are going fast for the Downtown Greenway Community Picnic taking place from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, July 8th. The limited number of tickets can be purchased online. Admission for adults is $40 and $20 for children 12 and younger. World-renowned North Carolina pitmaster Ed Mitchell will fire up the grill alongside his son Ryan. Whole hog barbecue will be served fresh off the smoker along with classic Southern sides and desserts prepared by downtown Greensboro restaurant Sill and Sco. Hardcover copies of the cookbook Ed Mitchell's Barbecue will be sold on site at the picnic. All proceeds will support free community programming offered year-round along the downtown Greenway. The heritage breed hog will be provided by North Carolina A&T State University's University Farm, a 492-acre working farm featuring active livestock and horticultural production. This collaborative event, which is part of July's National Parks and Recreation Month, is made possible by the Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department, Greensboro Parks Foundation, and Greensboro Bound. The Downtown Greenway is located at 501 East Bragg Street. For more information, contact Chelsea Phipps with Parks and Recreation at 336-373-5826. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some of the special events happening this weekend on the town. July 7th marks the month's first Friday, meaning downtown Greensboro comes alive at night. Enjoy demonstrations by local artists, activities that promote environmental awareness, Latin dancing and lessons, and a community drum circle. Learn more about this free First Friday event at downtowngreensboro.org. The second annual Downtown Greenway Community Picnic is July 8th. Enjoy a whole hog barbecue prepared by North Carolina pitmasters Ed and Ryan Mitchell, plus plenty of Southern sides from Sill and Sco. Tickets cost $40 for adults, $20 for children 12 and under. Get yours online at greensboro-nc.gov. The Greensboro History Museum takes guests back to the 1940s when the Gate City was home to the nation's largest urban military base during World War II. Reenactors, music, vintage vehicles, and a ration book bake-off contest will take visitors back in time. Learn more about this free and family-friendly event at greensborohistory.org. See Our Band, presented by Fiddle and Bow and the Burrow Sessions, live in concert in the Crown at Carolina Theater on July 8th. Sasha Papernick and Justin Poindexter deliver airtight harmonies, irreverent humor, and instrumental excellence as they create a unique Americana sound. Tickets start at $20 and may be bought at the box office or online at carolinatheater.com. Cyclists of all skill levels can enjoy a guided 4-mile bike ride around downtown Greensboro every Sunday and Thursday night from now through November. Meet at Lawn Service by Little Brother Brewing at 6 and depart by 6:30. This is a free event thanks in part to support from the Dawn S. Cheney Foundation. Learn more at downtowngreensboro.org. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. As part of Creative Greensboro's Neighborhood Arts Residency, Emilio Mars has enhanced the basketball court at Random Woods Park, and Chuck Johnson has painted 2 crosswalk murals in the Mill District. Each artist was selected by the neighborhood residents to lead community engagement and arts programming during a 6-month artist residency and install at least one culminating visual arts project. Mars designed original artwork for the park's basketball court and backboards. The artwork features colorful characters, swirling lines, and the name of the neighborhood. Johnson's mural design honors the area's textile workers. The crosswalk artwork located at 14th and Church Streets is an indigo-colored flannel pattern mural. At 12th and Yanceyville Streets, the crosswalk mural features fruit that grows on trees planted in the yards of textile workers' homes. These trees remain a part of the area's natural landscape. To learn more about Creative Greensboro, visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO Shout Out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shout Out. This week's shout out goes to NC Works. The career agency hosted the In It for the Long Haul Career Fair and Expo. The event took place at the NC Works Career Center located at 2301 West Meadowview Road. The event set the backdrop for dozens of career and training opportunities within the transportation and logistics industry. Employers from various fields in the industry, training providers, and other employment resources met with prospective employees. For more information about upcoming career expos, visit guilfordworks.org. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.